Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me here today. God, I look so hungover. I'm not hungover for the record, I'm just tired and it shows. Okay, part one, go. So we got a weird one today. A man who has been incessantly online since 2009 getting into fights, saying slurs, and provoking other YouTubers for content for his drama show has announced that he's just walking away from it. Kind of. We'll get into it. If you somehow don't know him, Daniel Keem is a 39-year-old man who hosts the channel Dramaalert, dedicated to, as the name suggests, reporting on entertainment news of all kinds. The show is considered edgy content due to Keem's aggression towards the stories he covers, and he's often in the center of the drama he intends to report on due to his provocative nature. There's a lot of things that make up his history that don't sit right with me, and in general, I don't really agree with his methods of behaving online. I've made a few videos that include Keemstar during my time on YouTube, and my personal opinion is that he brings a very hostile and unnecessary energy towards media analysis. So he's not my cup of tea channel. He's a tea channel. His show is well produced for what it is, and the reporting on entertainment news is accurate and timely, but it's his opinions that stand out, and not exactly in his favor. I always thought of Keemstar as someone who would just always be there, kind of like a bee that won't leave you alone. Something would happen online, and he would be somewhere in the comments lurking, getting ready to report on it for his internet show. Like, that's just how it is. I had accepted that as part of the natural order of things. But this week, that idea was thrown for a loop. Seemingly out of nowhere, Keemstar tweeted, "I am retiring. Full statement later today." Retiring? From YouTube? Do we have to officially do that? Because my plan was to just throw my laptop into the ocean. There was a lot of reactions to this tweet, as Keemstar is a pretty influential figure online. There's a lot of people who love him and a lot of people who hate him. The next day, Keemstar uploaded a video simply titled "Retired," but the thumbnail has "I quit" in it, so for clarity's sake, we're gonna watch this video. I do have a thesis about YouTubers and retirement that I want to get to, but I have to know the specifics of what he's talking about to get to that, so I'm sorry, we're watching it. I mean, I guess now is the perfect time to watch my first Dramaalert video.
Recently, things have changed quite a bit, and it started around the time of the pandemic is when things got pretty bad. You know, there was a shift in the culture where cancel culture became like this overpowering thing.
Cancel culture. The internet's boogeyman. The tidal wave of accountability threatening to sink any ship brave enough to sail against the current. Yeah, I don't think cancel culture exists. I think people and audiences can lobby for creators' platforms to be taken away from them, but no one's really gone unless they want to be. Look at Shane, Jeffrey, David Dobrik, James Charles. They were all canceled, but now they're back and posting as if they never left, so it doesn't feel canceled to me.
You got guys like Bryce Hall, who I guess is edgy. He doesn't really seem that edgy to me. But then you have Noah Beck coming out saying, "I don't want to make videos with Bryce Hall because I feel like it might hurt our brand deals." That's what we're dealing with. So who is Noah Beck? Well, you don't know. This guy's a robot. What does Noah Beck think about anything? You don't know. Like, the guy's a robot. He's a walking, talking commercial.
Somewhere in there is an interesting point. When you police your opinions and the people you are seen with based on brand profitability, you do limit the amount of free thinking on display. But I don't think that makes you a robot or a fake person. I just think that makes you harder to empathize with.
In entertainment, you need drama. You know, think of the Avengers without drama. Think of the Avengers without a bad guy, right? You need some back and forth. You need some battles. You need conflict, right?
Please tell me Keemstar did not compare himself and the commentary community to the Avengers. We are not the Avengers. If anything, we're the people talking shit about them. But also, I don't think we need conflict in the way he's saying. I think entertainment news can exist with conflict without making it drama. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. But like, I think Keem's thinking is a little twisted here.
Like, if someone gets in trouble, let's email the sponsor. Like, that's a normal thing. I don't know how that happened. I mean, it threatens the entire entertainment, community or whatever that we've built here. And that's another thing. Back in the day.
Okay, I'm going to stop this right now because I have a feeling Keemstar is about to go on a rant about money or cancel culture, and I don't have the energy to hear that right now. In the rest of his rant, which is loaded with ads, by the way, Keemstar laments the loss of a tight-knit commentary community. He blames T-channels for taking over YouTube drama. He talks about how he misses diss tracks, and how he's been looking for a replacement to continue his show.
I'm planning on retiring and leaving for good as the host of Dramaalert on my 40th birthday, March 8th, okay?
He's not retiring. He's just announcing it for next year. Okay. No, I'm done with this. You go away now. Regardless on his exact departure date, Keemstar's retirement made me think about how people leave the internet, how they end their channels, step away from the spotlight, etc. My thesis on retirement from YouTube is that you can't. Not really. You can totally stop posting and walk away from your channels, but retirement is something different. Usually when influencers leave the platform, it's not done by choice. People are constantly fighting for views, likes, anything that can boost an online career. Especially with YouTube, which rewards consistency. People are encouraged to keep posting until they die, really, just to maximize your presence online. Unfortunately, one common way for creators to step away these days is being called out for previous jokes or offensive behavior. Because they're being talked about in a negative light, posting regular content doesn't look good for them, so the best option they have is to, quote, take some time off. And then they usually try to come back as soon as they think the coast is clear. That's the Shanes, the Jeffreys, all those people I talked about earlier. Like, they want to come back, they don't know when, so as soon as people stop talking about them and move on to the next, they're like, all right, back in business. One example of someone being called out and leaving for good is Jenna Marbles. Jenna started making YouTube videos essentially when the site began, originally making parody videos, but later settling into dog content, household activities, fun stuff like that. Like most early YouTubers, however, there were some offensive jokes in those early parodies. And when Jenna was called out for using offensive stereotypes to mock Asian people, Jenna quickly addressed the topic, apologized profusely, and left. And when I say left, I mean it. She's gone. Her social medias are inactive, her channel is unchanged, and she doesn't appear in her fiancé's videos or streams either. She's removed herself completely from the internet. Some people theorize that this is something she had been wanting to do for a while and was simply jumping at the first chance to leave, but either way, this is a self-enforced detox that she is strictly upholding herself to. It's essentially walking away from an entire life of content on the internet. An example of someone leaving the platform out of frustration is William Osman. William posts science experiments videos where he goofs off and builds robots, but just recently he posted a video simply titled, "I'm Done." In the video, he talks about how what he does on YouTube invites criticism from unwarranted and uneducated opinions, and it makes it hard for him to enjoy what he does. The amount of dehumanizing comments he receives makes it impossible to ignore. It's unclear whether or not this is the last video he's going to make on his channel, especially because this happened just a few days ago. But the intensity of his frustration leads me to believe that this video is at least him stepping away, if not leaving for good. Right now it's unclear which direction he's going to take, but right now I would understand if he wants to leave the platform over constant negative comments. There's a lot of good reasons to stop posting yourself online, and dealing with constant negative comments is, I think, a good reason to step away from YouTube. One example of someone leaving the platform themselves without an outside influence is Harmony Nice. She used to upload videos about Wiccan practices, her art, her clothing styles, self-care advice, things like that. I used to watch every video she uploaded just because I found them very well produced and comforting. Then one day she posts a video titled, "Goodbye YouTube and thank you for the last 6 years." In it, she talks about wanting to move on and how she was excited for the next chapter of her journey. She summarizes her experience online, expresses her gratitude, and then she's gone. That's it. Nobody called her out, nobody bullied her off the platform, she just came to the decision herself that it was time to move on, and she did. I find that admirable. There's a lot of pressure to post even when you're tired, or to make your online career last as long as you can. But I think these people all show a lot of interesting perspectives when it comes to the reason behind why you would not want to do that. I think all three of these people and more have walked away from their channels for good reasons, but at the same time, I wouldn't call it retiring, because I think retiring in the common sense means something different than producing content that will outlive you. The nerd definition of retirement is to leave one's job and cease to work. When I think of retirement, I think of an old person cleaning out his desk at an office job, punching out for the last time, and going home to relax. When that old man, let's call him Arnold, when he retires, he no longer works at that job. That office life is no longer accessible to him. That job no longer has Arnold at that office stamping paperwork or whatever. He's at home. He's on the porch watching the sunset. He's done with that. What people are doing by posting themselves online is different than that. We're documenting ourselves in a moment of time, talking about something or doing something, and then sharing it with a supercomputer that will host that source code somewhere online forever. Jenna Marbles is not posting anymore. She's gone. But I can still go back and watch making a dog a birthday cake whenever I want. I will always have access to that. Even if Jenna deleted all her videos, compilations would still exist. Fan edits would preserve her presence online, even if the original source is scrapped. To expand on this topic, if an actress like Keira Knightley were to suddenly announce her retirement from acting, she would no longer appear in any future movies, but as long as I had access to a TV, I could always watch a snapshot of her career by watching Pirates of the Caribbean, or by putting on Pride and Prejudice, or by watching Bend It Like Beckham, I guess. When Keemstar says he's retiring, it's not like that relationship Arnold has with his office, where that office no longer has any connection to Arnold. Keemstar can't just go home and sit on the porch and have that be it. There is a decade of footage of this man's presence on YouTube hosting his little show. And though he may be stepping down as the host, in a way he's always going to still be there, preserved as a permanent fixture in YouTube's legacy. Retirement in the common sense has some finality to it. It's the end of your working period. It's the final period on your contract with something you're working on. And when it comes to online entertainment, I don't think there is that finality, unless someone spills a cup of coffee on the YouTube servers and the whole thing goes down. This is going to outlive us. What we're doing online is likely going to be hosted in some way forever. The videos I make are going to outlive me someday. The TikToks you make might be in a highlight reel at your funerals. Your great-grandkids might look through your Instagram to see what the world was like when you were a kid. The internet, and YouTube specifically, has made it so that online careers do not go away if you decide to step down. And part of me doesn't think that it's a true retirement if your online career is always, unstoppably, ready to stream. As for my retirement plan, I was not joking about throwing all my stuff in the ocean. I'm going off the grid. Someday I'm going to reach my limit, trash my tech, liquidate all my assets, and then move to the mountains where I'm going to take up painting and archery. It's going to happen. There's no fighting it, and you'll never find me. Now that's how you do it. Thank you all for watching my weird little video to the very end. I appreciate that. If you have any thoughts about retirement or online careers, feel free to submit them in the comments, where I will be reading them and hopefully learn a little bit more about what you think about it. Thank you, as always, to the dazzling patrons who support my channel every month. You all have a very special place in my heart. If you would like your name tattooed on my video forever, the link to my Patreon will be in my description. If you want to watch more of me and my thoughts, I'll leave suggested videos on screen as well as my social medias if you want to see me do things online. I hope you all have a happy October. Halloween's coming up. I might do something special for a video. Maybe. You'll see. But either way, have a safe and happy holiday. Don't get coughed on by a zombie. Stay safe. I love you lots. Goodbye.